Hey, Austin. Welcome back to City Chat. I'm Sarah, and
And I'm Marcus. What's up, everyone?
oh my God, Marcus, before we dive in, how was your weekend? I saw in your story you were at Lady Bird Lake again.
Yeah, man, it was perfect. You know how it is. Saturday morning paddleboard session. The water was actually cool for once.
Wait, cool? In Austin in 2026?
I know. I mean, like 78 degrees instead of the usual surface of the sun temperature we get.
Right. For our English learners listening, when Marcus says surface of the sun, he is exaggerating, but not by much. Austin gets really, really hot in summer. Actually, Marcus, hold on a second. This is perfect timing for our everyday English segment. You just used some classic Texas expressions that might confuse our English learners. Can you translate surface of the sun temperature and maybe explain why Texans talk about heat the way we do?
Oh, absolutely. So, surface of the sun temperature is just classic Texas hyperbole. That means extreme exaggeration to make a point. We say stuff like hot as blazes, hotter than a jalapeno's armpit, or so hot you could fry an egg on the sidewalk, which people actually do sometimes. Basically, when it hits 105, 110 degrees Fahrenheit, that's around 40 to 43 Celsius for our international listeners, it's genuinely dangerous heat, so we joke about it to cope. Like, it's not just hot, it's apocalypse hot.
But hey, that's why we have Lady Bird Lake. It's this reservoir right in the heart of downtown where you can kayak, paddleboard, swim, or just float with a cooler full of drinks. The best part? You can see the skyline while you're cooling off. It's like having a beach in the middle of the city, except instead of ocean, it's spring-fed Texas lake water. It's honestly my favorite thing about moving here. I mean, coming from Seattle, the idea of swimming in downtown, wild.
All right, you've only been here, what, 3 years now?
3.5, but yeah, I'm still technically a transplant. Speaking of which, Marcus, you've been here your whole life, right?
Born and raised, baby. Grew up in South Austin when it was still affordable and weird before everything changed.
And that's actually perfect timing because today we're diving deep into that change. We're talking about Austin's tech evolution. Is the Silicon Hills boom really over in 2026?
Mm-hmm.
And for our listeners who might be English learners or just not familiar with Austin lingo, Silicon Hills is what we call our tech scene here. It's a play on Silicon Valley, the famous tech area in California, but hills because Austin is built on hills.
Right, and it really exploded in the 2010s and early 2020s. I remember when everyone was moving here for tech jobs, the Keep Austin Weird bumper stickers started feeling ironic.
Oh, keep Austin weird, that's our unofficial city motto. It started in the early 2000s to support local businesses and maintain Austin's quirky artistic culture. But Marcus is right, when big tech moved in,
Yeah, suddenly we had Google, Meta, Apple building massive campuses. Tesla moved their headquarters here. The whole vibe shifted from let's keep it local and weird to let's optimize everything.
which, honestly, as someone who came here for a tech job, I was part of that wave. But now in 2026, things feel different again. The layoffs, the funding crunch.
Totally different. Like my neighbor worked at one of those AI startups downtown. The ones that were getting like 50 million in VC funding just 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah. And just to explain for anyone learning English, VC funding means venture capital. That's when investors give money to new companies, hoping they'll grow really big and make lots of profit.
Exactly. So this company was building some kind of, what did he call it? Agentic systems?
Ooh, yeah, agentic systems. That's basically AI that can take actions on its own, not just answer questions. Like AI that could book your flights, manage your calendar, maybe even do your job tasks without you having to tell it every step.
Right. But the company folded last month. $50 million gone.
Wow, that's the story everywhere right now. But here's what's interesting. I'm seeing a shift toward what people are calling physical AI and robotics. Like instead of just software companies, we're getting manufacturing, hardware startups. Okay, time for another translation break. Marcus, I just threw around physical AI like everyone knows what that means. Can you break that down into everyday English for our listeners who might not be tech experts?
Sure. So Physical AI is basically the opposite of just computer programs. Think about it this way. Regular AI lives in your phone or computer and can write emails or answer questions. Physical AI is AI that can actually move around and touch things in the real world, like robots that can pack boxes in warehouses, or self-driving cars that can navigate streets, or even robots that could eventually do things like cook food or fold laundry. Instead of just thinking and talking, this AI can actually do physical tasks with robotic arms, wheels, or legs. Make sense?
Yes, I heard about that robot factory they're building out near the airport, and that changes everything for someone who's, say, 22 and graduating college right now. The question is Austin still the land of opportunity it was 5 years ago?
That's complicated. I mean, the good news is it's not as insanely expensive as it was in 2024. Remember when a one-bedroom apartment in East Austin was like $2,800? And that was for places that were basically fancy shoeboxes with exposed brick walls and no parking. My friend was paying $3,200 for a studio in the Rainy Street area just because it had a view of the lake.
Oh my God, yes. I was looking at places then and it was brutal. I remember touring this luxury one bedroom that was literally just a converted garage with a Murphy bed and a kitchenette, and they wanted $2,600 a month plus a pet deposit for my cat. But you're right, what are we seeing now? Has the market actually cooled down?
So they're calling it price normalization in the news, but really it's like, okay, that same one bedroom is maybe 2,200 now. Still expensive, but
Wait, hold up. Price normalization? That's such corporate speak, right? It basically means prices are coming down from their peak, but they're not actually affordable for most people.
exactly. Like compared to 2024, sure, it's better. Compared to 2018, when I could rent a house with roommates for $1,200 total, ha.
Right, those days are gone. But for a 22-year-old thinking about moving here, I think you could make it work if you're strategic, especially if you're looking at the new tech sectors.
What do you mean by strategic?
Well, like, don't expect to live downtown. Look at neighborhoods like Mueller or even further out, Pflugerville, Cedar Park. The commute isn't terrible if you avoid I-35.
Oh, God, I-35. For anyone not from here, I-35 is our main highway, and it's basically a parking lot during rush hour. Like, you know those traffic memes about LA? Austin's getting there.
It's so bad. My friend who moved here from Knoxville says it reminds her of the Alcoa Highway back home, but worse.
That's a deep Tennessee reference. But yeah, traffic is real. Though the rail project is finally moving forward, so maybe in 2028 we'll have actual public transit.
Maybe, but back to the opportunity question. I think the shift to physical AI actually creates interesting entry points, like you don't need a Stanford computer science degree to work in manufacturing or logistics tech.
That's true. And Austin's always been good at that blue collar meets high tech thing. Like we had Dell here forever, Samsung. It's not all just app development.
Exactly, and the lifestyle is still amazing if you can afford it, even with all the changes. Where else can you swim downtown, have amazing tacos literally everywhere?
The tacos. Okay, sidebar. For our international listeners, Austin taco culture is next level. We're talking breakfast tacos from gas stations that are better than restaurant food in most cities.
Yes, and live music every night of the week. Even post-pandemic, the music scene bounced back hard. South by Southwest this year was incredible.
It was good, though honestly, it felt different. More corporate, less, I don't know, less authentic, weird Austin.
Right, and I think that's the tension for young people considering Austin now. The secret is out. That's an expression meaning everyone knows about our cool city now. So it's not the hidden gem it was.
The secret is definitely out. But you know what? Every city evolves. The Austin I grew up in is different from what my parents experienced in the 90s, which was different from the 70s.
That's such a good point. And maybe this tech reset is actually healthy. Like instead of everyone chasing the next billion-dollar unicorn startup,
Oh, unicorn, that's startup lingo for a company worth over $1 billion. They're called unicorns because they're supposed to be rare and magical.
right, so maybe instead of chasing unicorns, we're getting more sustainable, practical tech companies that actually solve real problems.
I like that theory. And honestly, for someone thinking about moving here, the networking is still incredible. Like, you'll meet someone in line for coffee who's starting a robotics company, or you'll be at a random house party in East Austin and end up talking to someone who just raised Series A funding for their climate tech startup. There's this culture here where people are genuinely excited to share what they're working on and help each other out. It's not as cutthroat as Silicon Valley can be.
So true. Or at a happy hour on Rainy Street, that's our main bar district built in these converted historic houses, you'll end up in a conversation about the future of supply chain automation with someone who's building AI tools for manufacturing. And unlike other cities where people are super secretive about their work, Austin folks are usually pretty open about sharing ideas and making connections. It's that weird, friendly Texas hospitality mixed with tech ambition.
Exactly. The community is still there, it's just evolved. And if you're willing to live a little further out, get roommates, maybe bike to work instead of driving.
And here's something practical for people considering the move. The job market has actually diversified beyond just pure software development. You've got opportunities in drone technology, renewable energy systems, automotive manufacturing with Tesla, medical device companies, and even space tech with some of the aerospace companies setting up shop here.
Exactly. And the cost of living, while not cheap, is still way more reasonable than San Francisco or New York. Like, if you're making $75,000 in Austin, that goes about as far as $120,000 in the Bay Area. Plus, no state income tax in Texas, which is a huge deal when you're trying to pay off student loans or save up for a house.
Plus, and this might sound silly, but the weather actually matters for quality of life. Yeah, summers are brutal, but you can be outside doing things almost year-round. I go hiking at Barton Creek, kayaking, even just walking around neighborhoods like South Lamar or the Mueller District. In Seattle, I was indoors for like 6 months straight every winter. The bike infrastructure has gotten so much better. And honestly, biking in Austin is amazing 9 months of the year.
Those other 3 months, though, July, August, September, you'll melt.
You'll absolutely melt, but that's what Lady Bird Lake is for. All right, so let's do our final vibe check. Marcus, if a 22-year-old fresh grad asked you today, should I move to Austin for tech opportunities, what would you say?
I'd say yes, but with realistic expectations. It's not 2021 where you could show up with a coding boot camp certificate and land a six-figure job immediately. But if you're interested in the intersection of AI and physical systems, manufacturing, robotics, or even climate tech, there's still real opportunity here. The key is being strategic about it. Maybe start with a smaller company where you can learn and grow, rather than expecting to land at Apple or Google right away. And definitely come visit first to get a feel for the neighborhoods and the vibe.
Yeah, and do your homework on neighborhoods and budget. Don't expect to afford a downtown loft right away.
But also, and this is important, Austin is still Austin. We're still weird. We still have the best breakfast tacos on earth. The music scene is incredible, and you can swim in the middle of downtown. That's pretty special.
Absolutely. And for our English learners who made it through this whole episode, you just heard a real Austin conversation. This is how we actually talk about our city, with all the slang and local references.
Perfect practice for authentic American English. Plus, now you know about I-35 traffic and why we're obsessed with breakfast tacos.
So that's our 2026 Austin Tech Vibe Check. The Silicon Hills era might be evolving, but the opportunities are still here. They just look different.
Keep Austin weird, everyone.
And we'll catch you next week on City Chat.